Here to talk about what kind of defense they might mount, I want to bring in Laurence Tribe, professor of constitutional law at Harvard Law School, the co-author of To End a Presidency, The Power of Impeachment. So, Professor, I want to. Alan Dershowitz has appeared on my colleague Ari Melber show to sort of preview the argument he's going to make. And I want to play you what he said because I'd like to get your response to it. And it strikes me that it's going to be a focal point of the president's defense. So take a listen to what your longtime Harvard Law colleague Alan Dershowitz had to say.
Abuse of power, even if proved, is not an impeachable offense. That's exactly what the framers rejected. They didn't want to give Congress the authority to remove a president because he abused his power. They have to prove treason, they have to prove bribery, or they have to prove other crimes and misdemeanors.
What do you think about this idea that abuse of power is not impeachable, even if you establish on the facts that he abused his power?
Well, I almost don't know where to start. I mean, my colleague has it upside down. I knew that the Trump defense was going to rely in large part on alternative facts, but I didn't know they were also going to use alternative law. There is no legal principle that says something has to violate a federal criminal statute in order to be impeachable. When the impeachment power was put in the Constitution, there were no federal criminal statutes. Right. And besides, as the House report accompanying these articles of impeachment says explicitly, what is being charged against the president happens also to be a federal crime. It's called felony bribery. And on top of that, yesterday we learned from the General Accountability Office that the president is indeed breaking the law, the Impoundment Control Act. So that's why I say I don't know where to start. Alan is just completely wacko on this. I don't understand why the president thinks it will help him to have this kind of bizarro defense.
Well, here's why it occurs to me they might go with it. Reince Priebus said something similar the other night, the so what defense. So there's two things they can argue, and they can argue in the alternative because they're lawyers and they like to do that. They can argue that the facts don't amount to an abuse of power, and then they can argue even if the facts do show an abuse of power is not impeachable. It strikes me in some ways the second argument is cleaner and neater and easier because the facts are so damning. What do you think?
Well, I think the facts are damning, and it's cleaner, neater, easier, and dead wrong.
Right.
I mean, it's very nice to say that it doesn't matter what the facts are when the facts are so damning. You know, in Alan's book about this, he gives a hypothetical. He says, suppose the way Putin retook Crimea, suppose our president were to tell Putin, you can retake Alaska if you want. That would be pretty bad, says Alan Dershowitz. But it's not a federal crime, so unfortunately it wouldn't be impeachable. I mean, that
seems to prove too much.
So sad.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.